Hello, welcome to Create Joy Studio. I just kind of want to come on here and give you a little bit of, how can I say, encouragement. When the journey of life kind of has changed and you're trying to figure out where do you want to go, what do you want to be, what does life look like afterwards? When the journey changes, your aspirations may need to change with it. Not because you've given up, but sometimes life just changes and you need to change with it. And as I'm slapping paint on paper, this is one of the things that really changed my life after my journey changed. There was a time when I thought my life would look a certain way. I had plans, expectations, picture in my mind of where I was going, had expectations for my children. I wanted certain things, but life changed. And sometimes things do need to change when the journey kind of sets off somewhere else, right? Some dreams no longer fit the person that I became through those experiences. So now I have to ask myself an honest question some days, mostly some mostly every month. I try to ask the question, what are my aspirations in life now that the journey has changed? Maybe the aspiration is no longer to prove myself. Maybe now I just want peace. I don't want all the things that I used to want. Maybe I don't need to stand out in the lanes that I once wanted to. I don't need it, don't want it anymore. Maybe I no longer want to be busy just so I can feel productive, right? Maybe I want to live with intention and spend my time doing what truly matters to me, what makes my heart happy. Slapping paint on paper and creating beautiful flowers and encouraging people to kind of navigate their lives after their journey has kind of ended. That's what makes me happy now is helping people get through the hard parts of their days, right? So my aspirations now may be to just wake up with a clear mind, to protect my peace without apologizing for it, right? I personally love myself enough to stop remaining in places that has drained me in the past. I have no desires to want to, be there. To create joy instead of waiting for joy to find me. I know what it looks like. I know what joy feels like. I know what peace feels like. And therefore, I want to search more for that kind of life, to become more emotionally aware, more responsible for my choices, and more willing to tell myself the truth, even if it hurts. Be truthful with me first, right? I may, it might hurt, but I aspire to live without carrying unnecessary resentment. Maybe somebody did something, said something, and in the past, it would have knocked me to the core. But now, I don't want to live with resentment. I don't want to carry unnecessary resentment. That doesn't mean pretending like it didn't hurt or they didn't hurt me. That's not what I'm saying. It means I just no longer want hurt making decisions for me, right? And I like to say I'm healing every brushstroke. So every time I put down a brushstroke, heart is healing. I'm telling myself something that I need to not get over, but just decide how we're going to pack that up. We're not going to put a pretty bow on it because, sometimes we have to use the past for information. So we know that was like, okay, I've been here before. I've seen this movie before. I don't want to see this movie anymore. Right. So that may mean that you aspire to forgive. And me personally, I do aspire to forgive myself for the things that I did not know and the choices that I made while I was struggling. And the time, the time I spent trying to survive because life will serve us up sometimes, and all we're doing is just in survival mode. So I want you to ask yourself the question, what are you aspiring now in your life? I do aspire to be a better artist, better watercolorist. I want to spend time on things that matter most to me. And that way I get to show up and be happy, get to show up from a place of anger or resentment. I get to choose how I'm going to show up. I get to choose what that looks like for me. I get to live life really, truthfully in color. And that I love. So, what are your aspirations today? What do you aspire to do today? Not worrying about 10 years. My life used to be I have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Now it's just, what do you want to do today, Karen? What is life requiring of you today? Because sometimes you have to show up. Life requires you to show up fully. So, what does that look like for you? And if you know what your aspirations are, sometimes you can kind of navigate a little bit to still get what you need throughout the day. You were hurt? I understand. We've all been hurt. Take that hurt and use it as the gas to answer the question, what do you aspire today? Do you aspire to be angry still because you were hurt? Do you aspire to smile and build yourself a better life? Or what do you aspire? It's a good question. It's one that I ask myself. Just like I aspire to sit here and make you have a beautiful moment by slapping this paint on this paper, I hope my aspirations was to bring joy to your life. And I hope that I did that. Leave me a leave me a couple, comments to let me know. Did I aspire you to maybe slap some paint on some paper? Did I aspire you to maybe write down some new goals? Did I aspire you today? That was my goal in the moment, was to aspire you to live and trust again. I know that even when life changes unexpectedly, it's hard to adjust, but you can learn from it, you can rebuild, and you can choose again. I did. Trust the process.